I have no control of myself. And again, stop, you should go slow. Oh, hi guys. What if your car, your existing car, could just drive you to different places and you could just sit and chill in the driver's seat? Well, it's kind of possible if you have a Tesla or if you have a car with more advanced driver features. But what if your car does not have that? So this is the Trauma AI. It's a camera-based smart driving assistant that you mount on the windshield of your car. Think of it like giving your car a new brain that can control its movements. This device has multiple cameras to track your surroundings and other vehicles, and it then gives a steering input to your vehicle. Most cars these days, even the ones with just very basic cruise control, still has electronic power steering and electronic throttle control. So in other words, the steering control and the braking acceleration, all of that can be controlled by electronic signals. And what Trauma AI does is it understands the road and the vehicles around you, how you should drive, all of that, and then provides these electronic signals to control your car. One of the cameras is even pointed towards the driver and makes sure that the driver is always paying attention to the road. If the driver falls asleep or is looking at their phone, then Trauma AI will and should stop the car. One of the huge plus points of the Trauma AI is that you can customize the software or the AI model inside this to suit your driving preferences. You can either go with the standard software version, which I believe is called OpenPilot, or you can go with other third-party softwares which have their own set of features. And all these software versions are completely open source. You literally type in the GitHub URL and then the device downloads that version of software. You also have a very active community of developers who constantly push updates to all these different versions. Trauma AI today supports 300 plus models of cars, actually 325 different models of cars. So it's more than likely that your car would be supported. Now, I'll give you guys a real-world demo of driving with the Trauma AI, but before that, let's see what's in the box. Trauma AI comes in a pretty standard package. There is an instruction booklet, and below that, the device itself wrapped in soft packaging, and then you have the wires to attach Trauma AI to your car. This wire connects Trauma AI to the car's battery. Next, we have this connector or harness specific to your car. When you buy the Trauma AI, you should also select the make and model of your car, and you are sent this harness designed for your car. And this USB-C cable connects Trauma AI to the harness. Now finally, we have the device itself. It's got a display and a camera on the front to track the driver, and on the back, it's got two cameras to track your surroundings and many vents to dissipate heat. Installing the Trauma AI is super easy and should take you less than 20 minutes without tools. First, you remove the cover behind your car's rear view mirror to access your car's camera module. Then you detach the wire that goes into the car's camera module and then attach it to one end of the Trauma AI's harness. The other end of the harness, which is the output, goes back into the camera module. Now connect one end of the USB-C cable to the Trauma AI with the port on the back. Now align the brackets on the back of the Trauma AI to the provided mount and attach the device high up and in the center of your windshield. Now you can connect the other end of the USB-C to the harness and the Trauma AI should finally turn on. Now we can reattach the cover of the rear view mirror and we are finally done. So guys, I want to give you all a demo of driving with the Trauma AI. Right now, I'm in my wife's car. It's a 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe. This one has adaptive cruise control already, but the Trauma AI's software is going to override and take control of the car. I'm going to try my level best not to touch any of the car's inputs, and we are going to put our faith in Trauma AI and see how our experience is. We are running the SunnyPilot version of the Trauma AI software, which has a few extra features on top of the standard OpenPilot software. The drive should be a mix of both highway and non-highway driving. I'm gonna turn on Trauma AI once we get out of this parking lot. As you can see, we have this green border around the display. That means that the Trauma AI is active right now. It's driving pretty smooth. I've set the max speed limit to 46. It's all visible up here in the screen. The car is driving pretty smooth. My hands and my legs are completely off the controls. I want to see how the braking is. The car in front of us is slowing down. And yeah, I think it's pretty good. The braking has been really human-like. That braking was a bit hard, actually. It came in smooth, but it had some aggressiveness towards the end. Another thing I'm curious to see is how the car behaves when taking off from a start. So right now, I haven't touched any controls. The car has automatically started to roll forward when the car in front has moved. Right now, again, we have a very aggressive turn. Oh, that was actually pretty good. I kept my hand on the steering wheel because I was afraid if the car could make it, but that was actually really good. I did not have any input on the steering wheel. Again, another minor turn here, pretty good. And you can see that the Trauma AI display shows a green path where it believes the car should go forward. You also have lines around that on both edges that really tells you that Trauma AI knows where to go. We again have a very sharp left turn that goes into the highway. I want to see if Trauma AI makes it. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. I wish it turned in a bit in the start, but towards the end, it did turn very well. Now we are entering the highway, and this is where I believe the real test would be. I have given control to Trauma AI. We are on the highway. The speed limit is 65 miles per hour. I am at 54. I'm gonna try to change lanes and increase the speed. So with Trauma AI, you don't have to change the lane by yourself. You just have to turn on the indicator and then slightly nudge the steering wheel, and Trauma AI will perform the lane change. At least that's what it's supposed to do. So I'm gonna try to do that right now. I've turned on the indicator. I'm gonna give a slight lane change. Okay, great. It says change in lanes over here. I think that was very well executed. Trauma AI is not responsible for knowing when you should make a lane change. But if you have a more advanced autopilot like in a Tesla or the Chevy Blue Cruise, the Ford Blue Cruise or the Chevy Super Cruise, then it identifies when and where you can make a lane change by itself. So I guess that's a benefit for sure. We are going actually pretty fast. Let me try to execute one more lane change and see how that goes. So I've turned on the indicator. I'm gonna put a slight nudge. It says change in lanes in the display, and yeah, that's it. We have had a lane change. Everything looks really good. I'm gonna try to increase the speed a little bit more. I think I'm going a bit too slow for this lane, so I'm gonna increase the speed to 75 miles per hour. Again, no input from my end. Trauma AI is doing all the work, and so far it feels really very well planted. It's almost as if it's not as good as me driving the car myself, but it is a very good driver. I'm really impressed by the Trauma AI. It's very natural and human-like in the way it drives. I'm just trying to see how much gap it maintains. So there are different modes in the Trauma AI. We have a standard mode, a comfortable mode. We have a manic mode. I'm like, does it mean that it drives like a madman? Well, that's not very confidence inspiring, but I'm glad they have that mode. I've actually turned away the rear view camera so you guys can have a view of the display. Maybe, yeah, possibly, yeah, no, definitely not safe, but hopefully we reach there soon in one piece and everything goes really smooth. So one huge benefit of the Trauma AI is that you don't have to keep your hands on the steering wheel at all. With most conventional cars, you have to nudge the steering wheel or keep your hands on it every few minutes so that the car knows that you are paying attention on the road. With Trauma AI, we have this camera over here that is constantly focused on the driver. And if the Trauma AI feels that the driver is not paying attention to the road or is looking away, it gives you warnings. And if you don't respond in time, it just safely pulls the car over. We have to actually take an exit here. I actually might miss the exit, but let me take control back from Trauma AI. So I am driving right now. I have to take this exit. Okay, I think we'll make it. See, these are instances where you actually need a human, and it would take a long time for a AI model to take over from a human. Right now, we had to take an exit, and I wouldn't trust the Trauma AI to take that exit safely, at least for now. So we are off the highway, and this road, the speed limit is 35. I've increased the speed to 40 miles per hour. Again, absolutely no control from my end. I'm not touching the steering wheel. I'm not touching the brake or the pedals. The car in front of us is stopping. And, oopsie, I didn't like that. We tried to we were supposed to be behind that car, but we moved over to the right and tried to cut across the cars, and there was a red light. And at least this version of the software does not recognize red lights, so we tried to pass through it, and I had to manually apply the brakes. But if I'm not mistaken, there are some versions of the software, like right now we have SunnyPilot, but we have, see, I'm not sure what happened there. We ran over a bump and it said take control immediately for a few seconds. I wonder if that's because the GPS was confused because of the sudden movement in the z-axis. We are in a school zone, so I'll just be a more responsible citizen and not use the Chroma AI in a school zone. Let me turn on Chroma AI now. Okay, so we have turned on the device again. Speed limit's 40, we are at 25, so I'm going to increase the speed limit. One feature I would want is the Chroma AI to understand the speed limit from road signs or from GPS data and then adjust the speed accordingly. Sometimes, just by habit, I still keep my hands on the steering wheel, but I don't need to do that anymore, I guess. The car in front of us is slowing down to a stop. And yeah, that was a really good stop. Very natural. No jerk in motion. We had a very slow, good stop. And we are off again. I would have preferred a bit more speed and not have so much distance in front of the car. Okay. Oh, nice. The SunnyPilot has this notification when the green light turned on. It said that, hey, green light is on. It gave me an audible notification, which makes me wonder, why does it not automatically stop for red lights too? Maybe there is a feature or toggle I can turn on for the car to stop automatically at red lights. I have to look into it. So I've increased the speed to a max of 45. We have to stop here. Let's see how the Chroma AI stops. It's going actually pretty fast. That was actually pretty insane. I do not know what happened. If you guys saw that, I had to brake myself. I could see that there was a traffic light and this car was stopped in front of me, but the car could not see that. It did not expect a sudden stop. It showed here in the screen to press the brake immediately. That was pretty scary. I do not know why it accelerated so fast without knowing how much distance it would need to if it had to brake immediately. Yeah, the stops are really good. The way it stops, if it knows that there is a vehicle in the front, is good. And that's a really smooth turn. It turned by itself. I'm going to increase the speed limit a little bit to merge onto the highway. This is a good example to show a complex ramp system with a lot of curves. So yeah, Chroma AI is handling all the curves pretty good. I would say we have a curve coming up again. Again, I have no control of myself. And again, stop. You should go slow. Oh, okay. That was super scary. So I think that's a huge defect that I'm identifying here. If there is a curve in the road and Chroma AI cannot see the path in front, or Chroma AI thinks that there are no cars in front, it accelerates really fast. And then when it takes the curve and there is a car in front, and if the car is stopped, you will hit into it if you do not brake. That is actually really scary. But then I guess you always should pay attention even with the device. These two lanes are merging into one lane, and I want to give way for the car in front of me to merge into my lane. And I'm not sure if Chroma AI is smart enough to identify that, because it kept moving forward, but I actually braked and I slowed down for the car in front to merge in front of me. The lane following and lane centering are actually really good. We are dead in the center of the lane. I like that. We actually have a motorbike on the right side. I want to see how the Chroma AI detects a motorbike. So I'm going to try to get behind the motorbike and obviously drive safe, but just to see how the camera identifies and reacts to a motorbike. The autopilot is turned on and it's doing a pretty good job. The speed limit is 70, it is able to see the bike in front and it is maintaining distance. So right now I have almost an U-turn to make, and I'm trying to see how Trauma AI does that. I don't know. So the only issue I'm facing here right now is with the corners. The corners are really bad. It just accelerates when there is a corner. I'm not sure if this is an issue of this specific SunnyPilot version, or if it's an issue with all Trauma AI software versions, but they should fix that. Today's drive is around 8.3 miles. I'm actually going to pick up a kitten to foster. You guys will get a real world demo of me driving at night, because I anticipate that by the time I'm returning back, it would be pretty dark outside. Nice lane keeping. My hands and feet are off the controls. It's fully driven by the autopilot. And by the way, we still have the SunnyPilot version or fork of the software. I think it's going to rain. That would be interesting if it rains. It's see a slight drizzle. But again, yeah, speed limit's 35. We are off the highway. I'm traveling at 40 miles per hour right now. Fully in control. The Trauma AI is fully in control. My hands and legs are off the controls. Great lane keeping. Again, that's something Trauma AI does really well. We have the start slowing down on the left, but that all went by smooth. Oh. Okay, that was actually pretty good. I thought it was going a bit too fast, but it actually saw the car in front. It braked well in advance. That was actually fine. Okay, so it is raining right now, and Trauma AI is actually doing a pretty good job. It's raining, plus it's not that bright outside. We are... Oop. Don't know what happened there. It said take control immediately. I think the take control immediately error message is shown when the car moves over a puddle or like a pothole, and then it's not able to understand what happens in the z-axis. So guys, I hope you're able to see me. It's pretty dark out here. I have installed a new custom software in the Trauma AI. We have FrogPilot, like we had previously SunnyPilot. Oh, it says process not running. Don't know what that is. That's interesting. I'm gonna try to stop the vehicle and then start it back and see if that changes something. So I'm gonna try to pull over. Worst case, if you're not able to try out FrogPilot, I'm gonna install the default OpenPilot software fork. We are done. This seems very standard, right? There is no crazy animations like we saw with FrogPilot. It doesn't show what the speed limit is up here, which used to be shown on SunnyPilot. But here it just shows the max speed limit, which I set the cruise control to. So I think I prefer the UI of the SunnyPilot fork because it had more information for me, but this one is more simplistic. Another difference here is if I press the brake on this OpenPilot default software, it completely turns off autopilot. But with SunnyPilot, if you press the brake and then let go again, it re-engages autopilot. So we are on the highway ramp right now. Curious to see how Trauma AI performs in the dark. I actually have high expectations, specifically because this is the standard fork, the standard OpenAI software. Speed limit is 65 miles per hour, and we have set the adaptive cruise control to 70 miles per hour. So far, so good. I think the lane keeping is really nice. Like I can see this two lines on the screen, and the car is dead center between those two lines. So that's a huge plus for me. I'm gonna try to switch lanes, but before that, we should be slowing down right now. The car in front of us is slowing down a bit. Again, there is absolutely no steering input or throttle braking input from me. It's all managed by the device. Trauma AI does a good job. I think I would just go with the standard fork. I don't think SunnyPilot, and definitely not the FrogPilot, which I had a bad experience with. So my overall thoughts after driving for at least 100 miles with multiple software versions installed is that It's definitely a huge stress reliever. If you drive a lot, it's 100% worth it. But the main thing is you still have to pay attention to the road. So what do I think of this? It definitely removes the stress out of driving to some extent. It does take some time to get used to, but once you learn to trust it, it's really relaxing and probably even safer than manual driving. Now, if you should drop $1,000 to get one, also depends on what kind of driver you are, what car you drive, and how much time you actually spend on the road driving. Obviously, if you are a car enthusiast and actually want to drive the car, or if you have a manual car, then this is not for you. I used to own this beautiful Mazda Miata where the whole point was the pleasure of actually driving the car. And the last thing I would want was to delegate driving to a AI model. Also, if you have a really smart driving assistant in your car already, like if you have a Tesla or the Ford Blue Cruise or the Chevy Super Cruise, then you definitely don't need the Trauma AI. Now, if you don't fall in the above categories, but still you have a really good adaptive cruise control in your car, which should include lane keeping, lane centering, and really stable high-speed cornering, and obviously the automatic braking and acceleration, that is what adaptive means, then the main improvement in your driving experience would be that you can take your hands completely off the steering wheel and can have more automated lane changes. But again, the benefit here is not super massive. And now finally, if your car doesn't even have a really good adaptive cruise control and you drive a lot every day, then this is a great product for you. It does take out the stress out of long distance driving. It makes driving super manageable and literally hands-free. Now, before I end this video, I just want to drive home the point that Comma AI is definitely not a replacement for your attention. Please do remain alert and ready to take over control at any time. That's all for this video, guys. Catch you all in the next one. Safe driving.